afternoon, guys. Good afternoon. Welcome back to another episode of Tucked In. I'm Tucker, also known as Hagrid, and today we are going to be talking about stocks versus crypto. Who's more at risk here? What's gonna happen the next couple weeks? So go ahead, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and we'll dive right in, guys. Stocks or crypto? Who is more at risk? I mean, honestly, at this point, crypto's held up pretty well, right? I mean, the S&P is down from February 25th. It went all the way down 7%. Bitcoin in the same time frame, let's see, Feb 25th, is actually up. Bitcoin's up 5%. So Bitcoin has held up actually very well compared to the S&P over the last month. Chopping sideways, going up a little bit. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty encouraging, actually. That's pretty encouraging for crypto. Unfortunately, when we talk about risk going forward, to the downside, that is, I'd have to say crypto is probably more at risk, right? Because if things do give out, if this floor on the S&P does decide to give out, let's go back to Bitcoin real quick. There is a lot down here that is very much at risk. So short term, the strength has been nice, definitely, versus equities, especially individuals, right? Like if you want to look at like coin, the last few days down kind of a lot, down 10% the last couple days. Google's finally going down. Microsoft has just been getting hammered the whole time. So individual big tech names have been getting hammered while crypto has been somewhat holding steady. ETH kind of looks the same as Bitcoin. Sol, same thing. Hype, even stronger than both of those two. So if we want to talk about risk going forward, unfortunately, it probably is more so in crypto than it is equities. At least individual names, right? I think something like Google, there is a significant amount of risk to the downside because it's kind of just now starting to break down. Kind of the same thing for QQQ, getting a decent little bounce today, but nothing major to speak of. S&P, same thing, little bounce today, nothing major, but I think equities are more likely to put in a bounce on headline than is crypto. Even though we've seen relative strength, I have to say I think the risk to the downside more so lies in crypto than it does equities at this point, right? At this point, unless you're in specific names, Google, Coinbase, I think still have plenty of room down, but as does crypto, right? As does crypto. I think if this, whatever formation this is, if it's similar to this, if it does decide to break down, you're talking about mid 50s, maybe even high 40s. So yeah, I think there's a decent amount of risk on the board here for Bitcoin. Putting in nice higher lows, right? Higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. Putting in this kind of basing structure, which does look nice. And I do kind of want to see this. I do still want to see this, right? I would love to hit 77K. I'm not going to, even though I'm saying, right, there is more risk in crypto right now, that does not mean I want to position short. I don't want to short Bitcoin here. I don't want to short ETH. I don't want to, short Sol. Like, I'd only short Bitcoin right about there. I don't want to touch ETH, Sol, or Hype or anything else, right? I've mainly got stuff on the equity side, plus obviously prospecting the Bitcoin short, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But yeah, like kind of the title of the video says, the risk is in crypto, and it's to the downside, in my opinion. I don't think there's a ton of right tail here. I think it's still mostly left tail, unfortunately. Right at our value area high, right at our point of control, big spot. If you do get back above this high, you're gonna have a little fuel. If you get back above here, you're gonna have a little fuel all the way up to here, in my opinion. I would set something up with like a stop there just personally. But yeah, that's what I'm prospecting. We can look at ETH and SOL though. I haven't really looked at them a ton recently. I mean, bigger difference between current price and where this high is as compared to Bitcoin. Look at SOL real quick. SOL's a little close. SOL looks more like Bitcoin than ETH does for sure. And I'd say SOL even looks better than Bitcoin actually, but the ETH, the SOL ETH pair, the SOL Bitcoin pair don't look great. Don't look great. I mean, SOL BTC actually looks okay, but SOL ETH looks pretty terrible, which does lead me to believe that we're going to get more downside. You know, SOL right at value area low. If it's going to reject from anywhere, it's going to be here. If not, though, if we are able to break up, if we get some, you know, some war relief, right? Some nice headlines, I would expect SOL to come all the way back up into here, actually. SOL BTC all the way back up into there, which would be very risk on. So we will see. We will see what happens, but that's where I'm at, man. I think the risk is very much on the crypto side as it stands right now. I don't think this relative strength is going to hold. Anytime you get relative strength in crypto versus equities for a little bit, you're usually too late to the trade to take it, you know, to take it in terms of continuation, right? Like I'm not going to sit here and bet on crypto continuing to stay strong if equities, you know, continue to slide. Even if the S&P puts a little shoulder in here, right? That's when I'm expecting this move out of Bitcoin. So actually, I would like that. I would love the S&P to put a little shoulder in, and we get this move out of Bitcoin. But yeah, guys. I mean, that's where I'm at, dude. I think there's a lot of risk betting on if this is a bottom right here. You know, this is a tiny little almost bear flag. Looks very similar to this. Looks very similar to this, right? And obviously this was Luna, right? This was the Luna crash, so that was the catalyst for that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't want to bet on upside here quite yet, even though this had started to look good, you know. This had started to look like a bottom right here, and then it just slid off a cliff. So that is my concern here as well for Bitcoin. But anyways, guys, yeah, quick video. Just wanted to put this out. You know, still short coin, short Goog. I do have a little bit of this in spot. Fly, you know, just a little bit, nothing crazy. So, but I do think it looks kind of good for upside. So we'll see. Kind of a little hedge, I guess. But yeah, anyways, that's pretty much it. I love that I'm short this. I love that I'm short coin, feeling comfy in those, but don't want to touch any crypto shorts here yet, even though I do think that's where the risk is. It's definitely where the risk is for me. But I'd want to short Bitcoin here a little bit higher. Something like that. So anyways, like I said, that is it for the video. Real quick, go check out TraderX. It's pretty tight. It's our strategy following website. Max has got all this stuff up there. Louie's got a strategy up there. I'm going to get a couple up there this week. So it's pretty cool. You just click a button and you follow the automated strategy of somebody else, you know, who's got a proven track record, right? So it's pretty nice. It's just perps trading on Hyperliquid, right? So coming soon though, devs are doing something and are doing the little AI builder, right? So you can actually deploy your own strategies, which is pretty sweet. You know, if you have an indicator or strategy you like, you go on there, you put it on, people follow you, make a little money, you know, beyond your trade. So it's a cool little site. So check it out. But Yeah, anyways, those are my thoughts on the market today. Risk is in crypto. So anyways, I'll leave you with that. I'll be back next week for another episode of Tucked In. Everyone have a good day and stay safe.